Welcome to Carcry, the channel where cars don't just get reviewed, they get roasted. Today's star is the Microlino, a car so tiny that if you parked it in a lot full of SUVs, it looked like a carry-on suitcase searching for its mom. But don't underestimate it. This is a pepper-sized bubble car with retro vibes so strong, one ride and it'll stick in your memory forever. Let's be clear from the start. Microlino is built by Micromobility Systems AG, a Swiss company you probably know for their kickboard scooters. For this project, they teamed up with Turin, Italy. Yes, the birthplace of Fiat, Lancia, and that eternally controversial seafood pizza. This thing is stamped Made in Italy, not some online knockoff. Right now, Microlino is officially on sale across Europe: Switzerland, Germany, Italy, Spain. In short, if you're European and you crave a little retro flavor for your city life, just order online and wait a few months. Prices range from about €15,000 to €22,000, depending on battery size and options. That's roughly the cost of a Kia Picanto, except here, the Picanto is wearing a tuxedo. As for Asia, Microlino made its debut this year at the Malaysia Auto Show, the first time it's shown up in this region. Translation: the company is testing Southeast Asia's reaction before pulling the trigger. No official sales yet in Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. For now, fans can only daydream, not test drive. The big selling points are clear. First, that retro bubble car design that turns heads instantly. Second, city-friendly dimensions, just 2.5 meters long. Third, a claimed range of up to 228 kilometers, 142 miles. More than enough for work commutes, grocery runs, or coffee dates in town. Just don't expect to cruise the Autobahn at 90 miles an hour, unless you like the thrill of semi-trucks sneezing you into the next lane. And because this is Carcry, here comes the shameless plug. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more weird but wonderful rides like this. Drop a comment too. Would you ditch your oversized SUV to live with a Microlino for a week? My guess is most of you will type nope, but imagine pulling out of your driveway without worrying about scraping mirrors on the fence. Suddenly, the tiny life doesn't sound so bad. From a distance, the Microlino looks like someone hit enlarge on a toy car from a Saturday morning cartoon. But the closer you look, the clearer it gets. Micromobility Systems wasn't joking around. They basically revived the DNA of the legendary Isetta bubble car, the post-war European darling that once had an entire continent hooked. And the magic trick? That front opening door. Yup, the entire nose of the car swings open like a refrigerator. Want to get inside? You don't just open a door, you peel back the whole face of the car. Size check: 2.52 meters long, 1.47 wide, 1.50 tall. Translation: smaller than almost any city hatchback, even shorter than a Kia Picanto. Turning circle: about 7.5 meters, perfect for tight city blocks or those sardine-packed parking garages. Anyone who's ever had to wrestle a Corolla around a dead-end alley will see the Microlino as divine intervention. Retro looks, but with some clever engineering. Round LED headlights stick out like wide frog eyes, innocent but also a little cheeky. The wheels are pushed right to the corners for extra stability and quick turns. Though let's be real, this isn't Tokyo Drift. And if you tick the box for the sliding fabric roof or glass pano option, suddenly this microcar becomes your mini weekend adventure wagon. Picnic in the park? Absolutely. Around back, there's a trunk. Tiny? Sure. About 230 liters. Just enough for 2 carry-on suitcases. That means road trips, weekend getaways, or a shopping spree are all fair game. Need to haul a 90-liter fridge? Sorry, that's what delivery apps are for. Here's the kicker. Every time you swing open that front door, heads will turn. Some folks will swear you're pulling sodas out of a vending machine. Others will think you're stepping out of a toy spaceship. But that's the point. The Microlino isn't just transportation, it's a style statement. Picture this. You drive into a parking lot packed with towering SUVs. You slot into a space, pop open the entire front of your car, and step out like you just performed a magic trick. People freeze. You smile, close the fridge door, and walk away like nothing happened. That right there, pure entertainment value, built into the design. Step inside the Microlino and you realize this is minimalism that makes noise. The moment you swing open that front door, it feels like stepping straight into a mini fridge with a steering wheel bolted on. Space? Just enough for 2 adults shoulder to shoulder. Close enough that if you sneeze too hard, you're basically testing your passenger's reflexes. But don't laugh. This layout isn't random. It keeps the Microlino tiny on the outside while still roomy enough for 2 grown-ups, plus a 230-liter trunk out back. Translation: you can stash a couple of carry-ons or a whole shopping spree without issue. The seats? Simple cloth pads, not sporty bolsters. But let's be honest, nobody's drifting this thing. It was born to slip. Slip through alleyways, slip past traffic jams, slip into parking spots that would make a Honda Civic cry. Steering wheel's a classic round unit, no giant Tesla-style touchscreen here. Just a modest digital display behind the wheel showing speed, battery, and drive mode. Sounds basic, but it's perfect. This is a city commuter, not a spaceship cockpit. Big windows make the cabin bright and airy, so despite the size, it never feels claustrophobic. You still get air conditioning, power windows, and Bluetooth for your music or calls. Plenty for your daily coffee runs. Microlino nails the balance between minimalism and practicality. No gimmicks, just climb in, press start, go. Now picture this. Morning commute. You swing open the front door and slide in like a pilot boarding a private jet. Only difference? That jet cruises at 560 miles per hour, while your Microlino tops out at 56. But hey, skip the gridlock and you've already won the race. Now let's talk performance, the part where the Microlino proves it's more than just a city ornament. Under the bubble shell is a 12.4 kilowatt electric motor, roughly 17 horsepower. Top speed, 56 miles per hour. Just enough to keep up with traffic, run a yellow light without a cabbie honking at you, but don't even think about drifting around freeway on-ramps. 0 to 30 miles per hour takes about 5 seconds. Sounds slow, but compared to rush hour gridlock, you'll feel like a race champ. The suspension setup is classic city car. MacPherson struts up front, torsion beam in the rear. Translation: handles potholes and rough pavement better than you'd expect. In town, the ride's smooth, without the jitter of a shopping cart. Noise, vibration, harshness, well-tuned. The motor is nearly silent. Mostly you'll hear tire noise, and sometimes pedestrians blurting out, "That's so tiny, but so cute." A cool engineering note, the battery sits low in the floor, which drops the center of gravity. That makes the car feel planted in corners. No, it doesn't feel like a Coke can ready to tip over. Steering is light and city-friendly, though don't expect the kind of road feel you'd get in a bigger car. It's a trade-off Micro made to keep it easy and compact. Quick question for you. Drop a comment. If you had to pilot the Microlino through a sea of giant SUVs, would you laugh or white-knuckle the wheel? Remember, this thing's built to weave through traffic, not to blast down interstates at 75 miles an hour. If you want that, buy something else, or get used to semi-trucks breathing down your mirrors. Bottom line, the Microlino drives exactly like the city car it is, nimble, light, simple. And the best part? It makes every commute feel like real-life Mario Kart, dodging SUVs while rocking retro style. Time to talk batteries and charging, the real heart of the Microlino. You get a choice of lithium-ion packs, 14 or 20 kilowatt hours. On paper, that's up to 141 miles of range under WLTP testing. Sounds fancy, but let's keep it real. In real-world city driving with AC on and stop-and-go traffic, expect more like 110 to 125 miles. Still plenty to cover a full work week without plugging in every night. Charging is where expectations need a reality check. On a standard 7.2 kilowatt home wall box, the smaller pack fills in about 4 to 6 hours, the bigger one 8 to 9 hours. There's no lightning-fast DC charging here, no 15 minutes to full miracle. You'll need to plan ahead instead of winging it. That's the part people often miss when they skim the brochure. Here's a little Carcry pro tip. If you want to squeeze the best range out of it, drive like a city ninja. Smooth throttle, easy on the AC, and avoid flooring it. The Microlino isn't just a car, it's a teacher in stealthy energy efficiency. Now, audience check-in. Would you have the patience to leave it charging overnight at home, or would you rather top it off while grabbing coffee or shopping? I bet a lot of folks will laugh it off, but that's exactly the kind of urban lifestyle this car pushes. Small, smart, green, and affordable. And let's give credit where it's due. The pack sits under the floor, which lowers the center of gravity and keeps the handling stable. The battery management system keeps an eye on temperature, voltage, and longevity so you don't suddenly get a low battery panic in the middle of a busy intersection. For a microcar, that's some impressive engineering. Safe, durable, and city-proof. Safety and legality, the part where the Microlino proves tiny doesn't mean fragile. In Europe, it's classified as an L7E heavy quadricycle. Translation, technically not a full passenger car, but still bound by key safety rules. Headlights, real glass, proper three-point belts for both seats, and ABS up front. Don't assume small equals unsafe. The battery pack sits low under the floor, dropping the center of gravity so it stays planted. The reinforced frame can absorb basic impacts. Sure, if you tangle head-on with a 2-ton SUV, physics will still remind you who's boss. That's why the Microlino was built for weaving through city streets, not drag racing semis on the freeway. Paperwork-wise, things are simpler than you'd think. In most European countries, a regular car license works, no special EV permit needed. In the US or Canada, it would fall under microcar regulations and still require registration, insurance, and inspection. Bottom line, it's cute and small, but it's not a toy. You'll need the proper documents to drive it legally. Here's a Carcry-style fun fact. The seat belts are properly placed, but if you're over 6'1", your knees will start negotiating with the dashboard. That's when you realize tiny but mighty comes with an asterisk. It fits the city, not the NBA roster. So let me toss it to you. If you had to daily a Microlino in downtown LA or Toronto, would you feel confident slipping through traffic, or would you always be hunting for the safest gap like Pac-Man dodging ghosts? Finally, let's talk about the market, pricing, and the big verdict. The part where you figure out if the Microlino is for you, or if you should just walk away shaking your head. In Europe, the Microlino is already on sale in Switzerland, Germany, Italy, and Spain. Prices run between €15,000 and €22,000, depending on the battery pack and options. That puts it squarely in the entry-level city EV segment. Small, relatively affordable, easy to get into, but still rocking that retro vibe that makes you feel like you're driving a concept car from the 60s that somehow slipped through a time portal. Over in Asia, the Microlino has only shown up at an auto show in Malaysia, no official sales yet. If it ever hits Southeast Asia, pricing would likely push it into the same bracket as compact crossovers like the Toyota Rays or Kia Sonet. But unlike those cookie-cutter SUVs, the Microlino wins attention with its quirky design, tiny footprint, and eco-friendly image, tailor-made for crowded city centers. So, here's the Carcry verdict. Who should buy it? City dwellers who love retro design, want something small and nimble, and have no problem charging at home. If you're the type who treats commuting like a real-life video game, dodging traffic with a smile, the Microlino is your power-up. Who should skip it? Highway warriors, people hauling families of 5, or anyone who thinks their car needs to make them look like a superhero when they pull up to Starbucks. The Microlino won't stroke your ego. It's built for fun, not flex. Bottom line, the Microlino is a different flavor of city EV, tiny but full of personality. It's not trying to fight SUVs or sedans. It's selling a lifestyle, agile, eco-friendly, and just enough comfort for your daily grind. If you want something that gets you to work and boosts your Instagram game, Microlino is basically your spirit animal on wheels. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to Carcry. Drop a comment. Would you actually daily this little bubble car, or is it just a weekend check-in machine for the gram? Time to decide. Do you pick convenience, or do you pick style?